Oh, the extra one.
More, but it's fine.
The extra one.
All right. Holy shit. So welcome, guys. Welcome to Unzipped. I'm WinRRAR. This is my best friend, Dennis.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
And he has been the very first supporter of my channel. He's been behind so many of the episodes that you guys watch. He's been there to witness, to critique, to give his inputs. Like in the episodes, he's been on the script one, the dominatrix one, some of my favorites in these episodes. And this has been a long time coming, honestly. Like I've been trying to get him on here since the very beginning, and it's just been kind of like
we just been going on and on.
Yeah, delay after delay, and
finally
I just kind of like, all right, fine. Like when it happens, it happens, and it just so happened to happen, and we're here, and he's in a good place. I kind of like, I kept kind of extending it because he was kind of like in a drought, in a pretty bad place. Yeah. And I'm just like, I want to wait till you're happy so I can sit down because I know how it feels to.
Yeah. It takes a huge toll, but now we're here and I'm excited. This is so awesome to me. Like this is surreal to me. I've always wanted to do this. It's just that I wanted to be in a perfect space, and so. And I'm curious to know these questions because I told him to surprise me, and hopefully he surprises me.
With you, honestly, like this is the most improv. I haven't written down shit because, bro, this is like a conversation like you and me have in my backyard
every day,
at the cigar lounge,
almost every Sunday.
Exactly,
almost every Sunday.
So this is gonna be like an episode to me, like super smooth.
Super smoothly. Yes, sir.
So I'm just gonna like let the audience know real quick about the military situation.
Yes, sir.
Because. Some of you guys may know, some of you guys may not, but I've been trying to join the military for the last, I would say, 5 to 6 months.
Since September.
And it's been a fucking journey. And I just got disqualified about 2 weeks ago. And with a situation that many of you don't know, very few people actually know this. Dennis probably found out, last year that I had this?
I found out... Yeah, like last year, like around July, I'd say.
Yeah, this is just something that I was born with, and I just I never felt the need to tell anybody.
Yeah,
but
it got me off guard because I didn't even know but it sucks that it happened because it's not big of a deal, but it's the military work.
Yeah, exactly. They're pretty strict with their policies, but basically the situation I have is with my right arm. It's this it's pretty rare. It's this case called radial ulnar synostosis. And basically, with my left hand, I don't have it, so I'm just going to demonstrate. You can have your palm facing up. I can do that with my left hand. With my right hand, I can't, so it just locks, like right here, right in the middle.
You can't do it.
Exactly, I can't do that. And I got disqualified. Big bummer, but I have to move on.
Yeah, but I think it's it's because there's a much greater path for him, and everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason,
Yeah, I didn't want it to go this way, but I have no choice, and so I just have to make the best out of it.
Yeah, as long as, keep moving forward and, good things will happen. You keep moving forward. Like, the story behind, my success is just like, 2 years ago, my best friend, like him and Marco, they know me since I was a baby. So, like, they know that, so 2 years ago that I didn't have anything. I didn't have a car. I think straight out of high school, I was just thrown into like choose your career, choose what you want to do, choose. And I feel like almost a lot of high schoolers face that after graduation.
Right.
So for me, I went straight to my career, which is painting. I got fired from that about I'd say 2 months in because I was just garbage. I didn't really put in any interest because I was just like, fuck this. I'll find another job. I'm 18. I'll be good. I'll be whatever. I'll be straight. And that's a good mindset to have, but at the same time, it bites you in the ass at the end, and it bit me in the ass. Because after I got out of painting, I was making such good money. I was making a good $2K a month. And for an 18-year-old, that's pretty good.
When that's you get fucking good.
Yeah, when you get that money, you're just like, I can buy whatever. I can buy shoes. I can go to the mall with my friends. I can do whatever. And, my dumb ass didn't take the opportunity and didn't, really focus on that career. You get me? So after that, I got fired because I was really bad. I didn't know shit. I couldn't even change the light bulb. I was really bad. I was really bad. And I started working really bad jobs. I started working at Subway. I would work like I would enter like at 5, and I didn't have a car, and I didn't have a way to get there, so I didn't know how to drive. So I would like have to get up like at 12, leave my house like at 1:30 to get there at 5 o'clock. It would take me like around 3 to 4 hours because I had to walk to the train station, and then from the train station I had to take the bus. And this is during peak COVID. If the bus was full, then I couldn't go in it because it was,
how often did that happen?
that shit happened like I'd say like around. Dude, like a good 10 times, bro, and not even through Subway, through UPS, which is my other job, which I'll get into in a moment. But
right.
like, yeah, and if the bus was full, like I had to wait it out. You get me? I had to wait it out. So I would get like to Subway like at 5, and doing this as a college kid too. Like I was just going online on my way to Subway. I would go into my online classes, meet myself, and just like participate through the keyboard, through my phone. And then I would get to Subway. I would work a single shift, like basically me alone in Calle Ocho, which is like literally in the center of Calle Ocho, which is a Miami hotspot for those of you who don't know. So yeah, I would get like a bunch of people coming in, coming out, and I would leave like around 12 because I have to close up the shop, put everything in, and clean all the dishes. And I was doing that for like a good 2 months, I'd say. 2 months, I would like, and then my dad would come pick me up like when it would close, like. I get home like at basically 1 a.m, and then the next day I would wake up and do the same thing all over again.
Holy
and
shit.
That shit took a huge toll on me because I was like, I think the day I realized that it hurt me the most was like my first day, dude. My first day back, I was just like, damn, I used to make such good money when I was like in my painting business. Like, why didn't I bust my ass off?
Right.
Like it's just like damn, like
those regrets like eat you up alive.
Yeah, and then a lot of people like to say that you shouldn't trip on. Excuse me. Where's the lighter?
It's nice out here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very quiet.
Yeah, honestly, kind of glad we found this location.
Mm-hmm. And just like every other episode, it took a while. In the ass.
Had to fucking go across Miami to find it, but we're here.
But
we're here, yeah.
Funny enough, we went across Miami just to
come back where we were.
Damn near my house.
Yeah.
To go here, but whatever. It was worth it.
Oh, yep, and it's beautiful. We're at a church on a Sunday, smoking cigars. Like, couldn't. This is
like
really
a delinquent.
A delinquent, but where was I? The
Subway coming back.
Subway.
And you're regretting.
Yeah, I was regretting. Basically, like I was like, damn, I should have really busted my ass. And people like to say that painting and like labor jobs are loser jobs, but I'll get into that a little bit more later on.
Right.
But they're not. You know, that's all I can say. They're not. But I'll get into that a little bit more. So after that, I was just like, damn, like. Fuck, I really fucked up my opportunity. I was making really good money. I was really doing good for myself, and I was just complaining. So after that, my mom was basically like getting sick and tired of me of coming home like at 1 o'clock in the morning, and we would get into fights about like, you know, like you should teach me how to drive, and you know, so I can learn how to drive. And my parents, because they're in a certain situation, they couldn't teach me how to drive, and. So basically, I was fucked. You know, I didn't know how to drive. I wasn't gonna ask my friends to teach me how to drive because I would feel really bad if I crashed their cars. And you know, I was stuck. And I didn't want to pay for driving classes because I felt like, you know, someone can teach me and someone will teach me eventually.
100%.
So I was just stuck. And then I heard about UPS, and now this is the real bad one. This is the real bad one. I
remember this. You were depressed during this shit.
Yeah, dude. I remember I signed up to UPS. I quit Subway literally out of nowhere. I just told them I was like, I'm never coming back. This is my last day. Fuck this.
That's how it is with those little jobs, bro. Yeah. You don't even think about it. It's like, yo, I can't.
Yeah, I just leave. You just leave. Mm-hmm. So like, and I thought UPS was a good opportunity because you're getting paid $18 an hour supposedly. I say so this supposedly, and you're just doing hard labor jobs, like basically moving around, lifting carry ass boxes. Right. To me, it's perfect because like you're working out and you're getting paid for it.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it seems like, but it's wrong. You know, I signed up for UPS. I get hired. Whatever, because they basically want people there.
Right.
But turns out it's like a fucking slave shop there, bro. Like
realistically,
a sweatshop, slave shop, whatever.
Some shop.
Yeah, some random shop. Like basically you go in, you bust your ass for 3 hours, and to be honest, the time in that bitch feels like long as fuck because you can't use your phone.
Like on some where 220 at?
Dead ass. I'm like, yeah, for real. Like, where 220 at? Dead ass. Where's 3 o'clock at? And like, you're just like, fuck. When the fuck am I gonna leave? And sometimes they don't even need you. They just send you home.
Is it like Sorry to cut you off, but is it like Amazon where like
Yeah,
where like the breaks, like
yeah.
they monitor your ass and you
Dude,
can't be taking
in
like,
that place, in my UPS place, you had a 10-minute break, bro.
no way.
And you couldn't eat shit because obviously that takes
And
more than
10
10 minutes.
minutes.
And like
That's like taking a shit.
Yeah, those motherfuckers are on the dot, bro. Those motherfuckers are. You can't even get water sometimes because they're just like, no, because we got packages coming in. But for me, I didn't care. I was just like, you know what? I love working out. I love doing this. I love being active.
Right.
It's better than Subway. Anything was better than Subway at that point. So I busted my ass and stuff like that. But this is the bad thing about those jobs. You work a certain amount of hours to the point where you're getting paid like $200 a week. So it says that you're getting paid $18 an hour, but realistically, it feels like you're getting paid $7 an hour.
Was it full time or part time?
It was full time at that time because I could manage to do both.
Right.
I could manage to do school and do that.
Yeah.
So I was basically trying my best to work my ass off there. And yeah, and it just got back to the point where I was making like $100 a week, dude. Like I really didn't.
But how was that happening?
Because like I would get there, right, and like since there's too many people, they would just send me home, and no one knew I had a car. No one knew how I got there. So they basically just sent me home, and I would have to take the bus and go back home. And keep in mind, this job also took me like a good 2 hours to get there.
Right.
So yeah, and I think the night that it got really bad because every day I would go home and like fight with my mom, especially my mom, not my father, but I would fight with my mother about how, you know, like, please teach me to drive, please like, help me get a car, I'll pay for it. I was willing to sell my soul, like realistically, like, you know,
right?
I was willing to sell my soul. I was willing to do whatever it takes to like get anything to like get to the place where I was working at. And no, nothing at all. And my parents didn't want to gift me one, and I'm not saying that they had to give me one but like they didn't want to help me like take one out or like buy one so I could keep off paying it. And you know, I'm not gonna say I have that grudge against them because I love my parents.
Of course, yeah.
You know, I love my parents and they know this. I do everything for them, but I feel like we really could have done something. You get me? We could have done something. I'm not trying to sound like a spoiled brat, but I felt like we could have worked something out. You get me?
Right.
Like you could have talked.
Like even some $1,000 junkyard.
Junkyard
whip.
car, and like I would pay like half of it, and you help me out because I was basically earning the bare minimum. Or you can teach me how to drive, and I'll save up to like buy some junkyard car. I didn't care. I just wanted to learn how to drive. Right. And then it got really bad to the point where I think one night I got off at my bus stop next to my hood, and next to my old neighborhood is Low Haiti, and like you cross this bridge and you go to Miami Springs, and this is obviously like a rich neighborhood. I wouldn't say rich, but like it's a decent modern class neighborhood. Right. So my bus stop would leave me at that neighborhood, and I had to like walk like a good 30 minutes through like the neighborhood, and it got really bad to the point where I remember I passed by this house. It was lit up, a family having a dinner, and like I look inside the family living room because it was like a big wide open window, and I see them like laughing and shit, like laughing, having a good time, and then I was like, I get emotional over that because I was like, damn, like, you know, that's what I want. Like, I want to go home and be happy with my parents, and like you know, have a healthy relationship. But we didn't, you know, that. And then it took one man to save my life at that point. You know, I think like after working in UPS for like a good 2 months, my uncle, who was my boss for the painting business, said, you know what, like, do you want a second chance? And I couldn't sell my soul faster, bro. I said, dude, sign me up. I said, sign me up, do whatever we gotta do, like, sign me up. I'll sell my soul to you, whatever. And literally when he took me in, the first day, he made me drive the van to the Keys because he didn't have, his license was expired and my permit was obviously could work. So
he made you drive, but you didn't have any driving experience.
I didn't know how to drive. Well, I did have some driving experience. Like I knew how to like go straight, knew how to like turn, etc. But he said, you know what, like fuck whatever the damages you do. Like you just gotta learn how to drive because I need you, and you know you need me obviously. So he just gave me the van and we went straight at it. Like no worries about anything. Like he didn't care if I crashed. He just wanted me to learn how to drive. And throughout that time, I had 2 weeks. Like to improve him, to basically impress him,
to prove yourself,
prove myself worthy. And dude, I busted my ass those 2 weeks, bro. Like I would like basically dirty myself. I would go through muds to get paint. I would like basically run, whatever. And my clothes were super fucking dirty. I would literally, every time we washed tools, I would literally wet myself because to wash the tools perfectly. I was busting my fucking ass to impress him. And luckily, he said, you know what? Hold him to the team. And that's when I was like, it's go time. It's go time for me. Like, and then that's when I really learned how to to start saving money, working with grown men, and and then like I just worked my ass off the whole summer. I just worked as a rookie, like as a regular, like as a beginner. I just worked, bust my ass, day in and day out. And until finally, I knew how to drive at this point. I already got my license because I was a chauffeur. I would basically drive my guys to and from the Keys every day of the week for 6 days a week. Basically wake up like at 5 a.m, into the van at 6 a.m, and get there like at 7:30, 8 o'clock, and have to drive my ass back and get home to my uncle's house like at 7. That was my everyday thing, but I didn't complain, bro, because I was just like, you know what, this is for my future and this is helping me out in a way.
You were just in that mindset.
Yeah, I was just like, bro, I just gotta grind. And luckily, it didn't even take that long, dude. I got in February, March, around there, in 2021, and I had my Honda Civic in August. So
Damn.
and that was a brand new Honda Civic. I went to the Honda dealer, to the Honda agency. I basically, went in there. I got everything under my name, my insurance, everything under my name. I put a big down payment down. And I just did everything for me. I did everything under my name because I didn't want to own anything to anybody. And when I got that car, it was just like a very good moment for me. You get me?
Like that achievement.
Yeah, I was super proud of myself, bro. Like, cause I was just like, bro, like I did it, man. Like I really I did it. Like, you get me? Like I was really proud of myself, and that's nothing to other people achieve, but for me it was a big thing.
It's a start.
Yeah, and it was just like, bro, like I'm so happy, man. Like realistically, and. Yeah, dude, and I basically told my uncle that same day. I was like, the next day at work, and I was just like, all jokes aside, like I really thank you, like thank you so much, because like in some ways he saved my life in that, because I needed
100%. Yeah.
Like I needed help at that time. I needed financial help to like become more mature. I guess you can say. I wouldn't say more like a man, but like mature in the sense of like learn how to work, learn how to take care of yourself, take care of your family, put your priorities first. And worry about the bullshit later. Mm-hmm. And for him, he's like my second dad. Obviously, I love my father. My father is an amazing person. I love my father. Like Joel Cho is a great man. I love him. But my uncle, like he basically like saved my life at that point. Like he really had a good impact on me, and But later down in the road, it gets even dirtier. But yeah, that was basically like my lifestyle. That's how like it was a big jump for me. It was from down to top, and from top to down, and that's
okay. So that's the introduction, and now I want to jump. All right, I guess we'll jump to management, managing other guys, and because there's some people like maybe they're not doing painting, or they're not doing like these hands-on labors, but maybe they're starting to become a manager at a fucking CVS, that manager title is general.
Yes.
Applies to any other store. So I want to jump into that the first day, and then from there on, like how that pressure of being a manager. I
think. I'm gonna first talk about the manager position.
Right, like how you first got it, the initial day.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about how like the first for general like a manager position general.
Right.
I feel like if you're starting off any job, whatever the case may be, and you want to be a manager or want to be a boss, or you want to be the owner or whatever, I think like the core thing is just like do what you gotta do it at your pace, and eventually you'll get there. You'll climb up mountains. It might take a while, but you'll eventually climb that up. And I feel like any manager position in any job is an achievement. It could be McDonald's, it could be Burger King, but whatever. But you're there for that reason.
Right.
So I feel like that should be like a major thing to be proud of yourself if you ever get to that spot, like to be a manager at any place, because you're basically chosen to like lead a team.
Yeah, you've worked hard enough at that establishment where they said, hey, you know what?
Yeah, you're
gonna be the one overlooking our guys.
Yeah. So so for me, you know, when I got blessed with that position, but keep in mind, I was a manager of like 5 guys, I think, you know. And for me, like, it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like oh, you do this, you do that. It was more like I'd say like a brotherhood. Like, you know, I basically like led the ship to you know, to greatness. But the pressure of that job realistically is like, you know, my boss, aka my uncle, like being like, you know, on top of me, saying like, you know, you gotta do everything perfect, everything has to be work out, and if something fails, it's on you because you're the one leading the ship, you're the one who's overlooking everything. So you realistically gotta like keep that mindset in and like always keep a good composure, like like always be strict with your guys at some point and always be, you know, just be honest, just be blunt with people. Sometimes if they do a terrible job, like you gotta call them out for it basically, because like you're the one who's gonna get shit on, no matter what the results are. And even if you do a good job, like you're never gonna get like a pat on the back saying congratulations, like good for you. It's just gonna be like, oh well, that's why I pay you for it. You feel me? I pay you to do good work, to do good.
Cloudy and 72 degrees.
Shit, sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Oh, even is that notification?
I don't even know what that notification is, but yeah, being a manager is just like, it realistically isn't as, for what in my case, it really isn't like a crazy difference than what I was doing before.
Right.
It's like it's just basically of like, you know what, like, you know, like we can do this, we got this. Like I'll lead the team to greatness. I'll lead us to greatness. And you know, with my guys, I was just like, I've always been like a good partner and a good brother to them. Like I've always like tried my best to lift them up and like tell them what to do in a good way, and like just basically like, you know, make you feel good about yourself. Like, and you know, and they never take it to the heart, because in those type of jobs you have to have tough skin, because like if you don't have tough skin, then you know like
you can't last.
You can't last, bro. Like they'll tell you offensive shit. You'll see shit that you don't even want to see, and you'll hear shit that you don't want to hear. But you just gotta last, because like it's just one of those jobs. You have to have tough skin, and you know, I put that on many people. I've insulted many people, and many people have walked out on me, walked out on my uncle, and family members have walked out on us because of the way I talk to them in my job. Because this is work. Like we're here to work. We're here to make money. We're not here to be family. You know, outside we're family, but in work, and like, you know, when we're in that van, when we're in whatever house, we're workers. We gotta work.
Right. So, sorry to cut you off. Now I want to, because the way that we've been talking about painting, it sounds like a great job, and I'm not doubting it. But with that, you also have to have the cons, and I do want to.
There's a lot of cons.
Hear about like that addiction side. Some
There's
people that don't have their priorities straight.
Yeah, I got you.
And you see them.
Got you. But beforehand, let me get the lighter.
I really do love like just having that range of people. I mean, I just did a furry, and now I'm doing a painter.
It's just like
different.
A lot of person. but the cons of being a painter, there's a lot of cons, brother. I'd say the biggest con in being a painter is the people you work around with, the people who you trust, and I do say that lightly, trust.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people in any job, not even painting, that are snakes, that are like, and I don't mean to say that because I know that's a corny thing to say, but there's a lot of motherfuckers who are out there, not to be your friend, but to eat you up, like to like basically tear you down. And in the painting world, there's a lot of people who say, there's a lot of painters who will go after another, who say, you know, this guy sucks, this company sucks, and don't give him any job. And those same people are the same people that have a beer with you on Friday. So like the con of being a painter are the people who work there, some people who work there, and the shit that you see and the shit that you hear.
Right.
Because, you know, one story that I like to say is like, you know, when I was 19, you know, basically still in the middle, you know, I already had my car, I was just working, whatever. Like I saw basically cocaine, I would see strippers coming inside of work, I would basically see shit that, you know, that opened my world, because like I'm not used to seeing this shit in a work environment. You feel me? And like I would see people drink beers like at around like 12, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, and like you just see a bunch of shit that like you're like, what the fuck? Like, and like I would hear stories about my boss, that's not my uncle, my boss, my other boss, like going to the strip club, spending like $10,000 and then going back home and have a fight with his wife. Like that's some shit that you don't even want to like
Some movie shit.
Some movie shit, bro. Like that's some like you just see like a bunch of random fucked up people from different countries, obviously. And I'd say like that's one of the biggest cons because like you think that those people would help you out to get a job when you don't have jobs as a painter, because like in the painting world, like once you're done with a house, you have to look for another house and wait for people to contact you or find another house. Some cases you don't have that, so sometimes you gotta rely on another company to give you a job. And when you want to ask the other company for a job, they tell you no. But there's been examples where that other company was having a beer with you and telling you like, hey, like we're best friends, we're best buds, whatever. Like I'll help you out whenever you need help. But when it's time to ask for help, they don't give you help. Like I hope you know what I'm trying to tell you, because
I get it. Yeah.
It sounds so confusing.
Like they're trying to benefit themselves.
Yeah.
And lead you on.
Yeah, basically they're trying to hatch you on, have you in their hands, and when it's time, when it gets down to business, like they're gonna eat you up alive. And I've seen examples where basically my other boss, I'm not gonna say his name or say the company name because I don't want to
of course, yeah.
Yeah, but basically he is the headmaster of the keys. He is basically the painter of the keys. Like people know that's the painting business, and if you mess with him, he will end your painting company. Like he would tell people like, hey, don't work with this guy because he sucks, whatever. And that guy has to find somewhere else to work in Florida because no one's gonna hire him.
Right.
And I've seen examples where he's told painters in their face, like, this is my territory. Do not fucking step in my territory because I will kick you the fuck out. I've seen him say that shit hundreds and hundreds of times to other painters. I've seen him fire like about 50 painters. So
I have a strong feeling that this applies to just like that business world.
This applies.
Like
to
if you have like even barbershop, like let's say I open up a barbershop here in Coral Gables, and then you've been running yours for 10 plus years, and I just started. You're definitely gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
especially if you start to see a decrease in your clients, you're like, oh shit, wait, this new guy's kind of hot right now. I gotta go and step on his toes. And you know what? I completely understand it because that is business.
Yeah, it's a business module.
Yeah.
But it's just like the fear that other people have in him. You get me? Like,
right.
People have that fear to fuck with him. Like they don't want to fuck with him because like they know, if you fuck with him, you're basically gonna get like you're
fucking yourself over.
Yeah, you're fucking yourself over, and there's no winning it. And luckily for me, and my boss, my uncle, like we're cool. Like we work together, we eat together, we spent a lot of time outside of the painting world together, so we're tight. I'm never not gonna have jobs, but also like there's always that fear of like if you were to work with him, you can get fired tomorrow.
Right, this guy can end me any moment.
Yeah, and especially if you have bills and shit, like what the fuck am I gonna do
now?
Right, 100%. So like there's always that, and that's one of the biggest cons in painting. And other than that, I really can't say there's a whole lot of other cons.
Would you recommend someone maybe not straight out of high school, or maybe straight out of high school? Would you recommend them jumping into that painting?
I would recommend anybody. You can be any height, any weight size. Doesn't matter, but that doesn't matter. But the one thing I would tell people if they want to get into that lifestyle is just like you gotta have tough skin. You gotta be strong mentally, not even physically. You have to be strong mentally because there's gonna be moments where you're gonna get eaten up alive, and there's gonna be moments where you're gonna want to have to fight somebody, or even start problems with somebody. But the one thing I would tell people is just like you gotta have tough skin, and that's what everything. And luckily for this job, for me, like that's something that has taught me that, like I take things when people insult me, I take that very lightly because like it's nothing compared to what I've heard in my job. So that's something I would tell everybody. But yeah, I would recommend anybody. I feel like learning those type of jobs is good because like you can start a business, you can start a career off of that. And I hate how people like get that stigma of like those type of jobs, construction, painting, roofing, pressure washing, plumbing, whatever the case may be, are like loser jobs, because they're not really loser jobs if you really manage your people good, if you really start a business, if you really put your money into it. You can make more than a teacher. You can make more than a college
100%.
than a college graduate, and it can happen. I've seen it happen 100 amount of times. It can happen. So like I really hate that people look at those type of jobs as like a loser job, because they're not loser jobs. You're you're really venturing out for yourself, you know.
I think that stigma's around for the people that don't make it out of those jobs.
Oh,
You get me? Like
100%.
like maybe some of your coworkers, like you said, that they rather have their priorities at the strip club or at the bar all the time, and then that's like where that stigma overclouds those kind of jobs.
Yeah,
But,
I feel like for my coworkers, you know, a lot of them don't have, you know, obviously papers.
Right.
They don't have papers, and that's not a bad thing at all. But I feel like
I mean,
I feel like if some of them were to put their head into the game and like try to work on getting papers or try to work on something, they can eventually rise
there
up.
You go.
You know, I feel like anybody. I feel like anybody can
put it
just
in the best way.
rise up in any situation, especially in those type of jobs, because they don't care.
100%.
So like, and I really do hate that. Yeah, and you're right. Like, you know, there's a lot of people in my job who rather like say, "Oh no, like fuck that shit. Like I'm good where I'm at," you know. But eventually your age is gonna catch up to you. Eventually you're gonna like your luck is gonna run out, and eventually you're gonna like be really depressed because like you wasted all that time and potential on bullshit, on strip clubs, on beer, on whatever the case may be.
Right.
So yeah, it really depends on who is working. It really depends on your mindset, and it really depends on your dedication. Like, you know, you get me? And it's really hard to do it half-assed. You know, it's really hard to do it 50-50. You really got to dedicate yourself to something like that. So yeah, I had long hair, like on the
and some of the episodes you're there.
Yeah, and the skirt one. I had
yeah.
longer hair because at that point I was just like, I don't care about my appearance. I don't care about how I look. You know, because I'm not here to impress anybody. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to really get any girlfriend.
I'm actually really glad that you touched on that. That's good. We should talk about that.
Yeah.
That like that young man hygiene.
Yeah.
Yes, that's. I'm sorry. I'm at a blank because I'm just here smoking and listening, and I haven't been able to come up with shit.
Yeah, it's all good.
I'm just like retarded, I guess.
No, it's all good.
But yes, that's such a good one. And I mean, we've talked about this before, but that shit is so important. Your appearance, because like the way that you present yourself outside of work.
Yeah. No,
dude. You probably didn't have much of a social life.
No, bro. I
moment.
like if it wasn't for you or my best friend Kurdish, shout out to Kurdish, like I realistically wouldn't have a social life. I would just be alone. You get me? I would just be alone. I wouldn't see any friends or I wouldn't see any girls because obviously of my appearance. And, you know, I feel like a lot of people should learn that thing at a young age of like looking good for yourself. And if you feel good about yourself and other people say that you look like shit, then that's fine. If you really feel good about yourself, then that's good because there's a saying, if you look good, you feel good. And if you feel good, you do good. And if you do good, they pay good. So
you know you made that shit up.
I did make that shit up. So actually I didn't make that shit up. Deion Sanders made.
I know, but you twisted it.
Yeah. No, he says if you look good, you play good. If you play good, they pay good. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that saying is so fucking corny. But if it is so fucking true, I cannot express it, bro. Like when I was like there, like when I was like looking like that, I didn't care. I was just like, you know, I'm gonna work. Like I don't give a fuck about what anybody says.
Right.
Like, I'm in a good position in my life. Like, fuck do I care about what anybody says? So, but then when I finally found someone, you know, who cared about me, you know, besides my friends, she didn't really care about my looks. She just cared about me, you know, about me, and she didn't really care about my appearance, and that's when we went to Missouri. So, and when we went to Missouri, I cut my hair.
Best decision
ever. And then when I cut my hair, I remember I went to go, you know, see her, and it was just like the look on the face that she gave me. It was just like a wow, like, you know, you look so good, this and that. And then that's when I had that confidence of like, you know what? Yeah, I do feel good. I do like looking good. Like I do like cleaning myself, like shaving and like cutting my hair.
Right.
I really like looking good, you know. And that's like, you know, that's one thing that she taught me, and you know, and yeah, like I feel like I'm sorry, I lost her words, but you know, she gave me that social life, I guess you can say. Like she gave me that happiness, you know. I would spend time,
something else to look forward to.
Yeah, bro. Like I would just get home, dog, and I would just like say, like, yes, I'm finally gonna go see my girlfriend today. Like, yes, like I finally got that. You know what I mean? Like I had that. I was always searching for that and feigning, but I finally had that. And you know, when I look at
oh shit, there's someone here. But
no, we're good. I feel like when I see people like you, Marco, like my best friends who have girlfriends, I look up to that. I admire that because it's just like you have something that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
You have something that money can't buy. And I feel like that's something, and I'm grateful for her because I'm grateful for her, my ex, you know, that she taught me that. She taught me that money isn't everything. You know, she gave me moments that I can't buy back again, you know, like the memories that I had with her were moments I can't buy again. And I feel like, you know, when what happened, you know, when we split off, you know, I was in a position where, like, you know what, like, is money really everything in life? Like, you know, is it really everything in life? Like, I feel like I was happier, you know, not really making a lot, you know, having
Right.
that. So whenever people tell me that, yeah, like, you know, money is, I want money or money will make me happy, I usually say bullshit.
I'm sure money will make a lot of us happy, but I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, money will make a lot of people happy, but like,
But it's
truly
good to,
deep,
yeah.
truly deep down, it's always good to have.
It's good to work on yourself.
Yeah, it's good to work on yourself. It's good to have friendships, relationships with anybody, because those moments like
Priceless.
are priceless. Or it's like shit you can't buy. You know, going to Missouri to see my best friend, going to Atlanta to see my other best friend.
But we need money to do that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying you have to be rich.
I know.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, like you can work at a McDonald's,
Right.
whatever.
Save
And
some
you-
money and
Yeah, and you save some money and go on a trip.
make a memory.
Yeah, and you can be happy like that. You know,
But
and you
that's
feel-
something super common. That young man hygiene. That's something that we did not have in middle school.
Oh, yeah, I did not
high
have that in
school.
middle- yeah,
I did
no.
not have it.
Mm-mm.
I just didn't give it.
Yeah,
Like I just didn't care because you're kind of in that rebellion stage where you're just like,
yeah, you're on that.
fuck that. Like, and my parents, they try to tell us,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, your
like,
parents-
hey man, go get a haircut.
Yeah.
Hey, shave that thing you're trying to grow on
Oh
your
yeah,
face.
or like, hey, like look presentable.
hey, put some cologne on. And
Yeah,
you don't
pretty
do
much.
it. You don't
Yeah.
do it.
And like, yeah, like, and you know, it's good that you learn now, before like it really bites you in the ass.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of my friends had that, and I was just like, I'll just be on that logic shit that like, why the fuck are you doing that to impress other people?
Right.
But
right.
realistically, like, it makes you feel good because you're like, damn, like, you know, I look clean, I smell good, like, you know,
Right.
and you eventually do good for
Because
yourself.
you're just super impressionable at that age, and I mean, like you said, you're listening to Logic. I was listening to Suicide Boys. Like they're like, like these people are just telling you, hey, like do what the fuck you want, do what you want,
do what you want.
and
Fuck
we
what
just kind
everybody
of
say.
follow that,
You just follow that trend, you follow that mindset.
and then you just kind of grow out of it, and then you venture out, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Then you're just like, you know, what the fuck. And I feel like that moment, you know, the realization of like, you know, there's more than life than just money, and like you can find, you know, the happiness of that someone gives it to you. That moment, you know, I really wish I had that moment when I lived alone. You know, when I lived alone, a lot of people want to say that they want to move out. I forgot to say that in the beginning, but like, you know, painting helped me move out of my parents' house, helped me get my own spot. But I feel like when a lot of people say, I want to move out, I want to live alone, you know, I feel like a lot of people are confused by that concept. You get me? Because if you're not in a relationship, or
Sounds good on paper.
it sounds amazing on paper, but when it's time to pay food, pay bills, do all that shit, double the price that you would live at your parents', it eventually bites you in the ass. And all that just to be isolated in the room and doing whatever the fuck you want. And I say that.
Right. And at the end of the day, you're not doing shit. You're just in your room.
And at the end of the day, you're not doing shit because you're just like, well, I have no money, this and that, because I wasted all rent and bills and shit that I have to pay for. And I have nobody to look at. Like, you feel me? Like, so like, I feel like when people at a young age want to say, oh, I want to move out, fuck my parents, this and that, like, I feel like they gotta really think it out through before you eventually get to that. Obviously, if you're in a situation where like you have abusive parents or like you're really in a toxic environment, then I'd say go for it because it's worth it. But if you're not, then I'd say don't go for it because realistically, it's a big step.
burden.
It's a burden. It's a big ass step to like your mental health because then eventually you have to work double. You have to work even harder because you're just like, if I don't work, I get kicked out the house because you know I gotta make rent. So yeah, for me that. When I lived on my own, I did good for myself. I never really felt to pay rent, but I did miss seeing my mother. I did miss seeing my father, my sister, and I did miss having a home cooked meal because I would just go buy Wendy's, McDonald's, Chipotle, whatever the fucking shit. Because I didn't know how to cook. I don't know how to cook, so I missed having that. And you know, I only lasted on my own for like a good 6 months, I'd say, until I decided, you know what, I'd rather help my mom pay. I'd rather pay rent at my mom's house and just like live on my own. So when my parents moved down to Homestead, I just basically said, you know, I'm gonna move in with you guys and I'll help you guys pay rent and whatever, you know, I'll help you guys out. Yeah. And we did that, and thank God it's gone for my favor. Like I get to go home and see my mother, and see my father, see my dog, see my sister, whatever, and eat like a nice home cooked meal.
I don't know. I don't know why I never got into those handy-mandy jobs, right? I always settled for those part-times, and I decided to make that big step. Going to the military obviously didn't work out. I mean, now I have like an interview at an office. But yeah, just kind of grind. Like that's what this episode's about.
Yeah, just like,
you know, it's like have good figures around you and
I'm grateful for my friends that I have around me. Like I'm grateful for obviously Donnie and my best friend Curtis and my best friend Marco. I'm grateful for a lot of guys. They know who they are. So because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here. You know, if it wasn't for my friends, I would not be here. You know, I would not be in my dream car, which is my truck, which thank God I got. Like I thank God because, you know, and I thank my friends because if it wasn't for my friends and if it wasn't for that push that they gave me, those words of motivation, especially, you know, I go further into saying, like, you know, they somewhat saved my life too. Like I feel like you guys, Curtis, my therapist, especially when I was depressed back in August, September, I felt like they you know, they basically saved my life. You guys basically saved my life because like I was just like I was super down. You know, I didn't get my truck like the same day. Like this is why I was depressed because like the same day that I got dumped was the same day I got rejected for my car, which is my truck. It was the same day I got rejected for my LLC. So all bad shit happening at one day for me was like a really big heartbreak. So for that, it just went downhill.
And I'm in that moment.
Yeah.
I'm in that moment right now. But,
yeah. But
eventually things get better.
Yeah, eventually things get better.
But you have to work.
You have to work.
I can't like as soon as like literally the same day that I heard that I was disqualified, I just mass applied. I just mass applied to jobs, but also with some restrictions. I'm like, I'm not gonna work retail anymore. And I went and did it, and I mean, and fuck it, I'm getting an office job, I guess.
Yeah, because like a lot of people, when shit like that happens, when a bunch of bad shit happens to you,
sometimes you can just cave in.
Yeah, eventually,
and it's just like
eventually like, you just get depressed and like you don't work for like a good week. But for me, I have to work.
Right.
Because like I have to work. I have to put food on the table for myself, for my family. I have to work. You know, you gotta work. I would love to be in my room for like a good day, crying all day to drink or whatever the fuck the case may be. But I gotta work because nothing else is gonna get resolved. No one's gonna fucking say it's okay. Like here's your money, bills, whatever.
Right.
You gotta work, bro. And you know, and eventually like shit will get better. You know, like in your case, like eventually shit will get better. But you always have to remember about the good things you have in life. Like you have, you know, you still have your family. You got friends. You got an amazing girlfriend. You got amazing friends. You got an amazing brother. You got shit that a lot of people don't have. You know?
Yeah.
So, and like I told you before, like when I was really going through that phase, like I really wish I had your life sometimes because, you know, you have that. You have that happiness that a lot of people don't have. So always keep that in mind whenever you're in a bad position that you have people around you, you have the people you have around you, the happiness that you have, the joy that you get from seeing others. Like, yeah, don't ever let that, you know, because eventually, like if you present yourself if you keep being depressed, like eventually you're gonna get beaten down alive.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna get swallowed up, and you know.
100%. I think that's a great way to end the episode.
That's a great This shit. I don't know how long have we been doing this.
I'm about to check. Where the fuck is my thing? Oh, right here. Holy shit! I just kept ripping this thing and it's been 50 minutes. That's solid.
That's solid. God damn, that's 50 minutes. Holy shit.
Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yep. Sorry guys for the stuttering and shit. This is my first.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So this was Dennis, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.